Welcome, one and all. Today is February 12th, 2016, and this is Mastermind call number 61. So thank you all. We had a tremendous number of people early, and this is probably our best turnout yet. Just a reminder, anytime during the call, if you have a question, comment, know you're going to have a question, would like to make a comment, just hit *6 and then hit 1, and you'll get put into the queue. Chad, if Michelle Cobb, if you're on the call, would you hit *6 and then 1? Same with Sandy Wallace. Same with Roger Lacey. If any of you people are on the call, would you hit *6 and then 1? We had a tremendous win this week from one of our very new subscribers, but I think she has her coaching call, so she couldn't be here today. Chad, you spoke to her. Would you just recap what Michelle had to tell you?
Yeah, so Michelle, like many of our subscribers do, she signed up and took a while to take the first action. So her lead sat for a couple of months. And when she finally did, she kind of hit the ground running. So I talked to her the other day, and the last 3 months since she started marketing, she's been able to get list and sell 6 properties, and she has 2 more lined up. And that's on one county. I don't remember her lead counts offhand, but it's not very high. It's an average or below average lead count compared to some of the markets where we have 200 a month. So just some people are worried that if they didn't get started immediately, their leads aren't any good anymore. That's not true. There's no better time than now to get started if you've been a subscriber for a while. But she made sure she had everything in place. She built her team of vendors around her and was really confident and had the right mindset when she got on the phone. And what do you know, it worked.
Yeah, we kind of heard secondhand. She started referring people to us, and they said we came from Michelle. She's getting great results. So we reached out to Michelle, and she shared that win with us. That's great. And she's in Louisiana, and it's a relatively rural area of Louisiana, from what I remember. I mean, I don't think it's New Orleans or a major city. So always good to hear those successes, guys. When you get rich and famous, please come back and visit this mastermind call, and please share your wins with us like that. We always love to hear them. And by the way, any of you on our website, on the very bottom of the homepage, there's probably 15 success stories and suggestions and tips from agents that have really taken these leads and done extremely well with them. Well, we have 4 people in the queue already. That's great. Tim, any comments before we get to our people in line?
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to relate a quick conversation that I had with one of our oldest customers, and I was talking to him yesterday. We just happened to be talking about something else, and I said, "So, how's it going with probate?" And he said, "Well, it's always kind of the same." And I said, "What's that mean?" He goes, "Well, he says I'm averaging 1 or 2 listings every month." And he said, "I send my letters out." He said, "I'm just waiting till," he said, "according to what I saw, I should be getting them tomorrow." He said, "By this time next week," he said, "I'll probably have at least 1 more new listing." And he just operates this just like clockwork. Leads come in, he authorizes the mailing goes out. He follows up with his own phone calls, does what he needs to go do, and he said this is shooting fish in a barrel. And I've been noticing, because I'm on his drop list, he's close by, and I get his email drops, and he just says listing after listing after listing. These are new, and I've been following his progress for the last 4 years because I've known him a while. And in the last year and a half since he's been doing this, every 2 or 3 weeks there's a brand new listing that just pops up. So he's getting vacant land, he's getting farmland, he's getting condo and all kinds of stuff. So it absolutely works. It's a simple formula. You get the leads, you send the letters, make phone calls.
Excellent. Well, this is going to be my favorite call because we've got 4 people with questions already. We want this to be your guys' call. We don't want to, you don't need to hear us. In addition to this call, we do a mastermind. We do a role play call once a month, and that's the opportunity to actually get in and practice with us and our trainers. But this is just an open forum, guys. So again, hit *6, hit 1, and I'm going to go to the first person in the queue. Area code 714. You're up.
Hello, my name is Bob, and I'm in Southern California.
Hey, Bob.
How you doing? I'm a
Great.
brand new and been happy so far. I wanted to just ask, this call, the Mastermind call, is that going to be every Thursday at this time? Should I put
Yes,
that
sir.
in my calendar for automatic?
Same time, same number every week. I think
I'll set it up.
only time we skipped last year, I think it fell on New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve. So unless it's a major holiday, we'll be here same time, same phone number every week.
Okay, that's answers my question. Then I'll be here with you.
All right, great, Bob. And by the way, you can listen to the previous calls. This is the 61st call. I highly recommend. We've actually had a couple real high analytical agents that started with number one and listened to them all. I recommend you go backwards because honestly, we are light years from where we were when we started this 2 years ago. If you start with the most recent call and go backwards, you're going to get the most, recent, the better ideas, the more refined systems, and you're going to. And it's not necessary to do, but it's hey, download them, put them on your phone or something, listen to them when you're traveling. Every call there's one or two nuggets that's worth listening. So thanks for the
Thank
question.
you. I'm glad you just said that because I'm an engineer and I was getting ready to start at number one and go through them all. So I'll just start at the top and go backwards.
Well, Chad, do you agree with that assessment? I know we've had a few people that have done that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. I appreciate the evolution too. I should have been an engineer. Just know that call number one is going to be, not nearly as many participants, and the system was developed, between our business and we were starting to grow it at that point. You get more interaction and more robust discussion as you get into the recent calls. But
no bad way to do it. So, and Chad, tell them where. Go ahead, Bob.
We also talk about on the description of them, we kind of give you a little capsule summary, so you can pick and choose what you want to listen to. But let's not kill ourselves debating the merits of 1 to 6 or 6 to 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chad, tell them where to find the previous calls.
The best place to listen to the recorded calls is in our All the Leads Mastermind Facebook group. And that's where Tim's talking about. I try to put a paragraph summary or a few sentences at least on each call. The quickest way to bring them all to the top is when you get into the group. Again, the group is All the Leads Mastermind. Once you get in there, you'll see in the top right on the menu, there's a bar that says search this group. And you can type in the word mastermind or type in the words role play, and it will bring all those calls to the top. And I put a thumbnail image of a mastermind or a role play on each of them, so you have kind of a visual cue too.
Excellent. All right. Thank you. Thanks for the question, Bob. Let's go to the next caller. Area code 831. You're up.
Hi, yes, this is Sandy Wallace. I'm in Santa Cruz.
Sandy. Hi.
So I don't know that I have a specific question, but I'm working on talking to attorneys, and I know there's several ways to do it, and I just wanted to see what people are doing besides letters and going to their office, I guess, is what I intend to do.
Yeah. So I think letters and office visits are definitely your best two approaches. The phone is probably the most difficult because the gatekeeper, the office assistant, her job is to protect billable hours. So you're more likely to, and based on our experience, the agents who have been able to network well with attorneys, they've either done it through office visits or through introducing themselves through a letter and then getting the phone call. A couple of tricks that will help you out. When you send a letter, in the data we give you, you get a docket number for the probate filing. So you can make a formal business letter and do a mail merge on the docket number and the deceased full name. So you can reference docket number 12345, the estate of Jane Doe, and make your mail piece look a little more official. And that way you should get that past the gatekeeper because they're going to feel like it's something the attorney needs to see because it is an official business letter referencing a specific case. So that's just kind of a trick to get that through. There are a couple of sample letters in the Facebook group, Sandy. If you look under in the top menu, if you go to files, we have 2 sample attorney letters, and you can kind of use those to write yours. We, as far as office visits, sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to be making the website too, so I've got Mark working on that, and I feel that I'm going to use that as a tool. I don't know, maybe even post it on Facebook and do some things that might get their attention. Attorneys.
Well, on your website, Sandy, you have a built-in component which is an information gatherer for attorneys. So if you want to send your letter out, I would reference the website that you're building, and in particular the attorney tab, because it asks them questions. It also makes them feel like they're not the only attorney you're working with and you'd like to have more, but you're trying to build a group of attorneys to work with. And so we built that information gathering tool there specifically for that, which is already built into your website. The other thing I was going to suggest in addition to that is every time you talk to someone that you actually make that contact, and even though they may already have the property listed or have done something else with it, if you can get that person, establish a relationship with them, they can potentially refer you to the attorney that they're working with, and that's another warm intro. You can say, I was talking to Sally, and she's working with you as the attorney, and I just wanted to introduce myself, and it's anything to break the ice, anywhere you can make that referential statement. So if they're working with Sally Jones, you could just say, I was talking to Sally, and she mentioned you were the attorney, and I'm interested in talking to more attorneys because I want to talk to you about what I offer.
Okay.
Excellent. And Sandy, you and I spoke briefly yesterday, and you had a great question about some of these people put their property up for sale to either go into a healthcare facility or a nursing home, or often if they're on Medicare or any kind of aid, they don't qualify for it until they sell their property. So there are people that don't go into probate, and you had asked how you would reach out to those people, the local nursing homes, etc. And Chad has some experience with that, so I was going to ask Chad to answer that for the group today.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for asking that question. I forgot what it was.
No problem.
And that's great outside of the box thinking. And there are different ways that you can get in front of the probate filing, and that's one of them. So typically, a nursing home or a long-term care facility will have a single contact point. That their job title is usually program coordinator, and their job is to kind of look at the patient's and the family's assets and their overall financial picture, and then figure out what's the best way to get their long-term care paid for. Oftentimes that includes selling assets, so Medicaid will actually pick up the bill for the long-term care. So a lot of people who are hitting the phones for the first time get discouraged because they find out that, well, the house sold a year ago. Well, there's no way to really know that. Some families are proactive. Some are forced to sell in order to get mom or dad into long-term care. So having the right mindset when you make your calls is really important. But there's also, that shows you there's a big opportunity to get in front of the actual death and use the exact same skill set that we teach here, that all the work you've done to build your probate strategy translates perfectly into end-of-life planning. So if you can get to know that program coordinator and help them understand the same things that you try to get the executors to understand. We are probate specialists. We have built a team specifically around end-of-life situations. We can help get homes sold quickly. We can help get the personal property dealt with and sold for the highest dollar. We can even help you completely renovate the home and sell it for top dollar to maximize the amount of money the family has for long-term care. It really depends on the client's goals, Mr. Program Coordinator. If you could just give them my information, or call me and I can come in and meet with you on that day if that's something they need, I'd really appreciate it. So you're reaching out to this person saying, listen, we offer a community service you've never heard of, and I'll be the only realtor in the world to that program coordinator when they really understand you're coming from the right place and you really are helping these families, but you're also helping their business. because at the end of the day, they've got to get paid for the care they offer.
Makes sense?
Yeah, and I was also saying, well, these people have set up a trust, and you were helping me understand that Medicaid, Medicare pays for their long-term care if they don't have a lot of money, if they show that they don't have a lot of money. How does probate, trust, and all that allow them to get Medicaid care?
So trusts are a separate class of people. Less than 5% of Americans have a revocable living trust. If you have a trust, you don't have to go through probate. So the people who have trust aren't going to show up on your list, and that's a whole another niche that you can tap into. The best way to get in front of those clients, and they're typically going to be high net worth. They set up a trust for wealth preservation. So they're going to have usually multiple properties, businesses, pension plans, stock portfolios. All that will be part of that trust. And the way to find those folks is to show estate planning attorneys or family law attorneys that find attorneys that's a pillar in their business and show them the same value that you showed the program coordinator or the executor. Listen, we can help families do this and this and this and this. And then when they're sitting down with their clients in their planning period, they can say, okay, well, listen, we work with a realtor who actually specializes in probate, and I know you don't have to go through probate, but it's the same situation. So why don't you call Sandy? She can help you, understand what your options are with the real estate. And by the way, Sandy works with a great financial advisor, and he could help you, reinvest this money to preserve wealth. So it's just helping that estate planning attorney understand what your offer is, the same as you would anybody else. And you can get in front of the trust referrals. You can get in front of the nursing home referrals. And then to answer your question on Medicaid, so Medicaid, if you have assets, before they pick up the full bill, they want those assets liquidated.
Yeah.
So if somebody goes to a nursing home and they have to go in right now, then Medicaid will actually basically force you to put the home on the market at the tax assessed value. And sometimes it will sit there for a year before they'll let you drop the price. But they don't own the house, they don't put a lien on it, but it's required to be on the market at or above tax assessed value for at least 12 months. And then they'll start lowering the price until it actually sells. And then Medicaid, they've exhausted the assets. So that's where most families who list the property before the death occurs, it's usually that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can contact trust attorneys and give them both. They're estate attorneys. They're the same kind of attorney, specialists. They do trust, they do estate and probate, I would imagine.
Sometimes. So your estate planning attorneys don't necessarily focus on probate as well. They're kind of different parts for some attorneys. There are some attorneys that only do like wills and trusts. And Jeff Moneybreak is a guy that was on the role play call. He's probably on here today. He actually found a kind of a network of attorneys in Ohio. And there's a surprisingly low number of them that specifically do that kind of that higher level estate planning and family law. I would guess that none of those attorneys actually do probate law because they can make, tens of thousands setting up a trust where they can make $1,500 closing a probate. So it's kind of it's a different class of practice.
And we're probably getting advanced for the average person just getting their leagues getting started with probate, but it's exciting how far you can take this and how many different directions you can go with basically the same skill set. And this is something that we're going to be expanding on in our training. And any of you that have specific questions about that, again, just send a email to support@alltheleads.com, and Chad will get back to you. Thank you, Sandy. I don't mean to cut you off. We got a bunch of...
I'm good.
Do we answer your questions?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for asking. Hang on just a second. I'll get to the next person. Area code 479. I believe that's Roger.
I am today.
You're still Roger. How you doing, Roger?
So far, so good.
Excellent. Fire away.
Well, Jim asked me to convey after being 4 months into it to what I'm doing to try to get into the market. And I know it's a scary proposition going into something that you don't know, but the real truth of the matter is agents, you do have a whole lot to bring to the table. All you're doing is repackaging the value statement that you have into a different context. And it starts with the original videos and the Master Probate program, perfecting your unique sales proposition, your USP. I use as mine providing families with value services and resources during transitioning life events. That's on the header of all of my stuff that I try to get, and it's just kind of a grabber that covers everything. The direct mail is absolutely incredible. It just has an ongoing life. Keep it going, and get it into the attorneys that are identified and in front of the families, because I've received over the last just being in this thing for 3 months now, I've received calls from both attorneys and from family members who said, "I got your mail, and nobody's doing this, and I'd like to talk to you more about what's doing." What you are really doing is that you're providing the service that you already do, and you're tweaking the approach to the suspect and finding from that qualified sellers for properties, and more than qualified, motivated sellers, and doing that. Getting into trusts and financial planners and Medicare and all of that stuff will come where I know that you just make a note. I need to figure out more what's going on with Medicare. I need to get into nursing homes. Stick with the start off with the lists that you're given. Go and attack them with kindness, and deliver the value statement and your unique sales proposition. Attorneys have a little bit of a different tweak on what they're looking for. You're trying to save them time, give them accurate appraisements or recommending appraisals, cash offers, auction on personal property. Family members are looking at time on the market, so on and so forth, and both are looking for, when can I get a cash offer? Do you have an investor in there? Arm yourself with 2 or 3 or 5 cash investors, and communicate with them. I'm going to be sending you stuff, or if you've got the money yourself to buy it, you might be able to build your personal assets as a result of what we're doing. Trust financial planners and nursing homes, those are going to come as you get more comfortable with the services and how it fits within the context of probate or disposing life-changing events within a family dynamic. I wish I could tell you more, but that's
awesome.
pretty much.
Awesome job, Roger. And we're still waiting for you to get that $6 million listing. I know it's coming.
Well, that was pretty. That honestly, that came to me from direct mail and phone calls from the list of attorneys.
And they've already told you you've got the listing. It's just a matter of time until they're ready.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. One more.
Roger.
Go ahead.
Roger, this is Chad. Roger, when's your next class coming up? I think you can put me out of the job.
No, I'm just echoing exactly what Chad said, and it's just you hear it from Chad, you hear it from me on the new guys in the program. Just find the guts to make the call.
Chad, Roger, how long have you met us? What, 4 months ago? 5 months ago? 4 months. You'd never done a probate. You'd never really gotten on the phone and prospected, and your one of your first calls was a $6 million and a $2 million listing. So hated prospecting. Yeah, talk about strong out of the box. We can't wait till you get that listing signed. Send us a copy. So, and you to your credit, you went through the training. You've absorbed the material. You're kind of a walking billboard for doing the right thing for the right reason. So I just wanted to share that with the group. Thank you.
And I already have 5 buyers for the property as soon as I get it listed.
Wow.
Nice.
So double N to $6 million. I don't even do the math, guys. That's good for you, man. That's great. Congratulations. All right, well, we got time for one more caller. That's going to be hard to top, and we don't expect you to, but area code 301, you're up.
Yes, this is Xavier Arnold. I'm first time here on the line. I'm in the Maryland, D.C., Virginia area, and was wondering about your different services that you provide here as far as lists go. Do you have? Do you also cover this area?
Oh yeah, we're so we haven't spoken to you before, Xavier. How'd you find your way on the call?
I got an email from you guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's 3,420 counties in the country, and there's not more than a couple dozen that we cannot get probate leads in. So we have them in every area of the country. Our initial service for the last 2 years has been probate, and it still is. It's kind of our keynote product, but we are coming out in a month or two with divorce leads also. Any highly motivated seller leads where the sellers are in transition and they need help, that's kind of our niche. And after the call, if you want to give me a call, my number there is on the website. It's 954-584-0000, extension 203. And I'll walk you through. I'll give you an overview of the whole program, kind of walk you through it.
Okay.
All right,
those leads will have phone numbers as well?
Yes, we give you up to 5 phone numbers per executor. So we give you the name, everything you need to, and as you can hear on the call, we give you all the tools, the training, the letters, everything you need. I mean, we can sell you data for a month or two, but if we don't make sure you're successful with it, we're not going to have a long-term client. And that's really what we're looking for. Our website is alltheleads.com. Okay. Alltheleads.com. And this is a good time to mention again, guys, on the call, you're always welcome to call me at that phone number. However, I'm always on the phone, and my partner, Chad, is way better at technology, and so is Tim than I am. The best way to get help with anything or get any question answered is just email that email on the website there, support@alltheleads.com. We have 4 partners, and we now have several employees, and we all read that. And the best person that can really answer your question and help you will always get back to you, usually in less than 10 or 15 minutes. So we're real serious about making you successful with these leads. And I think that's a good conclusion. Right at 30 minutes. Thank you guys for your participation. Nobody else in the queue. Tim and Chad, anything you want to say to summarize? Chad, anything you want to add?
For once, I don't have anything to talk about.
All right. Looks like we said it all. Tim, nothing from you, sir?
Nothing, but this is an awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, great. As always, guys, great call, and it's because of you. Great participation. I always end these calls by challenging all of you. Take one thought, one idea, one thing that inspired you on this call today. Go out and take some action in the next week and come back next Thursday and let us know how you did. And you know where to reach us in the meantime, guys. Thanks so much for your time, and make it a great week. We'll talk to you next Thursday.